I am happy to tell you that we are live and the world can see us. Hello world, hello digital realm. Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have a conversation today with Petra Halkes and Grant Wilkins. Petra Halkes is an independent curator, artist and art writer. Grant Wilkins is a printer, papermaker, publisher and poet. And it is for his poetry that the EBA asked him to let his work flow, inspired on the art and artist statement of several of the artists of the EBA, 10 in total. I will show you what is a pretty condensed edit of the conversation that Grant and Petra had on the occasion of this project. Unfortunately, this edit does not cover all poems and therefore not all artists for whom poems were written, but it is a good introduction, at least I hope, to what this project and the conversation about it entails. So here we go.
And the mysteries painted onto cave walls, the lines of a lean and geometric goddess spinning out the threads of teleology and time, still listening for the distant thunder of horses, 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 horses.
To me, it worked so well that I knew that was how I had to end the poem, and so I had to.
And that was the video. So now you all have an idea of what the project entails and what Grant has been doing. I hope you all liked it. Grant, we would love to see you.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
Aha, here we go. And you're in front of an artwork, I see.
Yes.
Do you know which one that is? I recognize it.
Patricia Kenny.
Who is here with us. And you made a poem about her work.
Yes.
And that poem, hold on. Could you tell us something about what touched you in her work? What made you choose the words that you chose?
Seemed to be a very personal sort of, she manages to be abstract, but also very intensely personal as well. It was interesting that her poem was almost hijacked by a mythological figure. In one of her artist statements, or one of her statements, she refers to the term psyche, the psychological state. And being a classicist, the mythological figure resonates with me. And I really, really wanted to work it into the poem, but everything else about how the poem worked was going to work against that. So in the end, it does start with the word psyche, and it does refer to soul in the first line, which is what it means in Greek. But aside from that, I had to control myself and not let it become sort of this mythological extravaganza.
Pat, I saw you. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I absolutely loved the poem. As soon as I read it, I thought you really saw my work. That's how I felt.
Oh, that's good. That's heartening. I mean, I know I've seen the work of most of the artists here. I think there's a couple of them whom I hadn't seen before, but I don't know a lot of you very well, and it's a little, it's a little daunting to be describing work in words, to be describing visual work in words if you're not really very familiar with the work itself. So I'm certainly glad that it worked out.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
I second that. Is there anyone who has a question for Grant or Petra before I ask mine? we're all impressed.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. This is Mona,
Yep.
and I also have some information to give, and maybe I'll start with the information. So basically, when we're speaking, I will put the link to the pages where all Grant's poems are live right now on EBA's website, and it will also be published on Facebook. But we didn't want to do it before, because the idea was that we launch it through this event. And Grant, by the way, so sorry that you're right now at EBA. I know it's the beauty of miscommunication in this day and age, and and also like stage 2, stage 3, and whatnot. So my apologies. And so you saw a 10-minute cut of the video of the discussion that happened between Grant and Petra. We will post that also on YouTube and our page. And we will also have a longer version, which is 30-40 minutes. You will also have that so that you can explore. But my question is for Petra, because I know that Petra, you didn't know that much about Grant's work before, his poetry before this. So I'm curious about your process, because we will learn a lot about, Grant's process and, how he interacted with the statements, etc. But I'm also curious about you and your process coming to know and getting to know Grant's poetry through this work.
Yes, it was quite a surprise, but then, as I confessed, I don't read much poetry. Now I see myself here right beside Laurie. I do read Laurie's poetry and I think it's great. I love it. So, but Grant's, of course, is totally different. So it was a real surprise, but I really liked it. And I liked what sorry, I have a blank for names. Pat, there. But Pat was saying that he nailed it, because that was a big surprise for me, because I know the work and the people very well, and I got a real sense of them, and they were all so different. And I think that's amazing, because you're, like you said, you're working with material that is pretty standard almost, artist statements and that sort of thing. But somehow you gave a very poetic sense, not because they are words or anything, but it goes beyond words. It just gave you a real sense of poetry. I actually think it should be in critiques, in the art reviews, in the magazines. Let's just give that a whole different twist and put that in there. Okay, I see a hand from Beth.
I haven't, of course, read your poetry before, but I'm interested in your process when you were introduced as a printer, a paper maker, and a poet. I thought that's a very interesting combination, because I wondered when you meant printer, or you said printer, is that a print maker? Or
no, I'm a letterpress printer, like hand set metal type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
The original way, the Gutenberg way.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Which you talked about during the conversation, because there are artists among us who make art that way. I saw Christos log in here. Unfortunately, you're logged out again. They are busy giving out the boxes, which were a tremendous success. But he also makes his art with making all these letters and then putting them together in an artwork. And the poem that you did for him, which was also in the edit, was a good example of visual art. And I saw on your bio you recently published Literary Type with Noir Z.
Yes.
Visual poetry.
Yes, yes.
There is a link there, I take it?
There's a link. That's the publisher's website. I don't know if I included the website, but the publisher's website, and they'll have some samples of it. It's basically a unit of 8 cards. Anyway.
and 8 cards with visual poetry. So poetry
Yes,
that is
yes,
not only read but also seen.
This is what it looks like.
Ah, you have it with you. Great.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone who would like to?
Mariah, I just wanted to let everybody know that I put the link to the poems on the chat. So if you go on your chat, basically icon, and click on enrichedbyartists.com, you will have, basically you could go read the poems right now. And just in case you have a question in the next 3-4 minutes before we end.
Okay. No, the other question I was actually for both Petra and Grant, because I am a newbie to the EBA. How long have you been following the EBA, and is in that time, could you tell us of a change that you have observed in the EBA that you kind of noted, if there is one?
Do you want to go first, Petra?
1991 was when Laura discovered this empty building, Laura Megita, and I just practiced or did the interview this morning. It's not ready, but yeah, that is on the 26th, I believe. And then we talk a little bit about the history. And yeah, I was there, I believe, at the first open house in 1991. And then, no, I think it was 92. I'm not sure, but that's a long time ago. And I don't think I've missed one opening since that time. And I know all the artists quite well from other things in the city. I've been here that long, longer than that even. So yeah, I don't know. I don't dare to say anything about changes. The building is held up. I'm really surprised it didn't fall down yet, but it's still there.
Me too.
And yeah, the exhibitions were very different over the time, and but it would be really interesting to see like actually a whole board with all the different invitations every year. I always got a kick out of that. So yeah, the people changed for sure, but no, and the art changed, but I really like the format. For a long time, it was just about the only thing, happening in Ottawa that you could count on that would come back. And it was always interesting, I found anyway. I didn't really, I think, that's not very good to say. I suppose there were other things, but it was a big thing, and it still is. And it's too bad that we can't have the real opening today or here, because yeah, but it's really good to see you all. Anyway, I should go to Grant, because I have seen him around everywhere for all that time too. I don't know if you were here in 91 though.
I think I was. I might even be able to trump you, because I've been friends with Laura Margita since before then. So I have these vague memories of actually dancing and drinking here in the EBA before it actually opened. And I've been coming to the opening since then. I can't actually swear that I've been to every single one of them, but I've been to most of them, I think. And yes, the thing that I've always appreciated about the EBA is that it was here, and it was consistently here. And as Petra was saying, things have come and gone in Ottawa. Galleries open and galleries close, and studios open and studios close. But the EBA has always been here, and there's always been an open house and you usually do a few other things through the course of the year. So it's been a very important and kind of almost stabilizing presence in the art world in Ottawa, and I very much appreciate that fact. As someone who's interested in art but isn't actually an artist, I appreciate the fact that however bad everything else gets, I've always got the EBA that is going to do something interesting for me.
I would like to counter your words. I am not an artist. Poetry is an art, and we are very happy that we could draw poetry into visual arts.
Thank you.
I just, was thinking of maybe not so much a change, but I do want to mention Svetlana Svinemer's excellent exhibitions that she has been organizing. I don't know for how many years, but that is something that, that wasn't really done that much. Not as, I don't think it was done that much in such a concentrated and focused manner as Svetlana did that.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd mention that as maybe it was more of a change. I don't know.
Petra, are you talking about the weekend shows that we had?
Yeah, those things, and there were also, she's done other things like other shows that she spent, spent a lot of time on doing that. Where are you, Julie? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think those are the thematic shows that we also started. And in a way, if you look at what's happening right now and the special events that we used to, like when we were live and that we're having right now online, in a way, this is a continuation of those kind of events, like in something like having teams, inviting others to come play with us. And this year it's been like really starting to play on an unknown level. Thank you so much. I do have one question, Mariah, if I can.
Of course.
And this is in a way I want to talk to the other poet in the group, Lori. And in terms of, like the relationship between also poetry and, like visual arts and, the words and and artworks, if you could also add something. I don't know who else is a poet, so you're the only one, so I'm kind of outing you.
Hey, this is strange. You are unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
Oh, this is, hey. This is a new one.
Free hand signals.
This is a new challenge of the new times. Sometimes it takes a few minutes.
Maybe it's your own microphone.
That is possible. Are you on your computer audio, maybe? I'm afraid I do not really know how to help her.
Lori, if you click the arrow beside your microphone, there are different options.
Select a microphone.
Yeah, same as the system built in. That's the easiest.
Can you imagine that this happens in the UN, and then suddenly Spain cannot speak anymore? And then you have a diplomatic spat because Germany could speak.
We could try lip reading.
And that will give a lot of power to the lip readers.
Okay, no worries then. Lori, we'll do it some other time. There will be at
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a beautiful autumn day out there.
I'll leave it up to you, Mariah, if you want to close it.
Yeah, I think we should close it, and you should just all enjoy the beautiful autumn day, and then come back to the EBA website and watch the poetry, read it, I mean, and you can also listen to it, because Grant has recorded himself reading it, and you could click on that too. Thanks to Mana and Joyce who make this all happen. Thank you very much. Thank you, Grant, for your wonderful poetry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you to the EBA folks for hosting.
And
our pleasure.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Grant and Petra and Mariah, for hosting.
Yes.
And yes, indeed, the interview videos will be posted soon. There will be even a new website soon. I cannot put a date to that, unfortunately, but soon there will be a new website, and that everything can be found there. Thank you very much for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mana.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.